Welcome back to our mini-series about generative AI and education. In this video, we will be going over how to use generative AI as a student. If you haven't already done so, I encourage you to watch our introduction video to generative AI, which will be linked in the video description. Generative AI, specifically ChatGPT, has given students instant answers to their most complex questions. However, when we get an answer from ChatGPT, do we really grasp the underlying concepts as if we would if we attended class or a lecture? When a student uses generative AI, their goal should be to learn from it, not simply copy it. Generative AI to a student can be a very effective tutor, providing contextual and relevant information to strengthen a student's understanding of a concept. Khan Academy recently announced a generative AI tool, Khanmigo, which uses the GPT models from ChatGPT to provide tailored tutoring solutions for students. Sal Khan, the founder of Khanmigo, has a terrific TED Talk about Khanmigo, where he references Bloom's 2 sigma problem. Bloom's results show that one-on-one tutoring outperforms group learning environments. The goal of this video is to equip students to use readily available generative AI tools, such as ChatGPT, as an effective tutor. The first step is to provide a prompt with adequate context and objective. I recommend the following 3 steps. First, introduce yourself to ChatGPT. Tell it what year and major you're in, and what the topic is that you're studying. Next, present the problem. Clearly state what problem you're trying to solve. If it is a complex problem, try to split it up. Finally, tell ChatGPT where you're struggling. This is a pain point of your study and knowledge of the topic. Be as specific as possible. Following these 3 guidelines will allow ChatGPT to clearly identify your objective and how to properly interact with you based on your educational level and skill set. Once you have inputted the prompt to ChatGPT, you will instantly get an answer. I encourage you to use these 3 steps once you have received an answer from ChatGPT. First and most important, analyze the response. Don't copy it. Carefully read the response from ChatGPT and write down any topic that is new to you and any follow-up questions you may have. Search any topics that are new to you using traditional tools such as a textbook, Google, or the encyclopedia. These are vetted resources that provide factual information about a topic, where ChatGPT may actually produce incorrect information. Finally, follow up with ChatGPT. Ask any questions you may have. If you have questions from reading factual information, ask ChatGPT. You can even ask ChatGPT to explain the same concept to a different audience to gain further understanding of the topic. The answer portion of AI assistance is iterative. Following steps 1 to 3 until the initial pain point is resolved will help you further understand how to effectively solve the problem. Let's go over a few examples of using generative AI as a student. Here we have a writing example where the student is tasked with writing a paragraph about the War of 1812. Here's a prompt that I have created to accomplish this task. The first portion of the prompt introduces the student, providing context to ChatGPT that it is dealing with a first-year history major. The second portion clearly outlines a problem that the student must complete. And the final portion presents a pain point of the student, where they have no prior knowledge of the War of 1812. In this case, the student doesn't know where to start looking to complete the task. Entering this prompt into ChatGPT, we received the following explanation, providing us with a high-level understanding of the War of 1812, followed by 3 avenues to explore. The student can take the key points provided and now cross-reference them with the textbook and alternative internet resources. In this case, the student wants more information about the causes and origins of the war and provides a follow-up prompt to ChatGPT. The result is 5 clear points that can be explored using factual resources. Asking ChatGPT to provide resources did work for the War of 1812, providing many books and articles for the student to read. However, ChatGPT is known to make up resources for less popular topics, so students should always double-check the references they are provided. The second example is from a university-level calculus course, where the student must find the limit of this function as x goes to infinity. Here we have the prompt using the 3 steps outlined above. The student first introduces themselves, shares their pain point, and then presents the problem. The prompt results in ChatGPT first explaining L'Hopital's rule to the student. It then goes into detail about how to solve the problem, including simplification at each step, such as removing 2 from its denominator as it is dominated by e to the x squared. In total, ChatGPT does 4 differentiations of L'Hopital's rule to evaluate the limit, which goes to 0 when x goes to infinity. As a student, we must ask, is ChatGPT correct? And technically, yes, it is. The limit of this function does go to 0 when x goes to infinity. However, ChatGPT's math is incorrect. Here's a look at ChatGPT's derivatives of the numerator compared to Maple, an accurate symbolic math tool. We can see that ChatGPT's derivatives are initially correct, but as the number of derivatives increases, it drops terms along the way. The same can be seen with the denominator, where ChatGPT fails to correctly evaluate the second derivative. It is important to always question and verify the results ChatGPT presents. In this example, we can clearly see that ChatGPT gets the final answer correct, but its process is incorrect. As a student, the process to solve the question is sometimes more important than even the correct answer. Our final example will look at how you can use ChatGPT to do pre-search on a topic. Here, the student's goal is to understand postmodernism in literature. The prompt reflects that the student is a first-year English major that is curious about postmodernism in literature. They want the explanation to be similar to how they were taught in high school. For this prompt, there is no clear problem or pain point. Instead, it is substituted with the student's curiosity of the subject. ChatGPT provides a very simple explanation of postmodernism in the context that a high schooler could comprehend, even going as far as to include its 4 main features. The same response included some resources for the student to read. Again, we must remember that these resources may not be real. Based on the information provided, the student can follow up with ChatGPT based off their curiosity of the subject. To close, I encourage all students to use generative AI to inspire, understand, and accelerate their learning.